Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zara Bazak, to remind you that Islam is not a religion of peace, but a religion of intolerance towards other religions. How can it be a religion of peace? It's only for the Muslims and the believers a religion of peace, not for the disbelievers who don't follow it or who go for another way of or have had. Oh, sorry, excuse me. This is another way of worship, form of worship. In my previous live stream, I did show you, and I'm going to show you again and again. Even qualified Islamic religious scholars cannot show you this in this way. So I will be having and have been having a lot of obstacles that try to discourage this, that we are unqualified and that we should not have a voice here. So even the qualified ones, academicians have differences between them, Islamic academicians, right? Qualified ones. So you may disagree to them, you may not hurt them, but there are people who have hurt Shias because of this religion and call them kafirs and liars and mushriks. Mushriks mean those who associate with Allah, others, partners. And kafir means disbelievers. And liars, you know what it means. So qualified religious scholars in Islam, Islamic, right? So if you care to see here, I have a lot of obstacles, like I can see Christians also, they want, to establish their religion, missionary work has gone on and all this. So Christians could be united with the Shia religious people. I mean, Shias, that's Shias, okay? Like that, I should say it. So now this ayat number is, what is it? The ayat number is not given here. Surah Tawbah, it is not for the polytheists to maintain the mosques of Allah while they openly profess disbelief. Now, polytheists do not openly profess disbelief. It is their belief. And even if the Quran, I say they follow their forefathers and they're superstitious people and this and that. Okay. It is planetary influences, all this that they call superstitions. They're superstitions. Okay. So the thing is that whether polytheism is the truth or not, but right, I'm not here to defend polytheism, but why not have other forms of worship? And it's the intention, heart's intention, that should count, right? If you are sincere, even if you worship a stone, I mean, God should accept that, right? Your sincerity. If you love someone, God, and you can't love God in that way, that you love someone dearly, your husband or your aunt or your teacher. I mean, people might call this worship, the religious Islam. In Islam, they would say she's deviated. They've deviated. Because it says here, right? such fears are cast. Um, they find out that, oh, this Zara, she loved her teacher. Oh my God, she's deviated Surah Toba at 24. You cannot love anyone more. My father saying like ishq, I don't know, but passionate love, you cannot have it with anyone but God. It's haram, or it's like shirk, sharik Allah. So here we have this ayat also, 24th of Surah Tawbah. Now, uh, I got scared by Dr. Khalil Andani and all, like the way they read this, they want us to take the Quran ayats and all. I had watched a live stream recently. It was, I think, on 5th April, right, with Dr. David Wood and Dr. Khalil Andani on this Christianity channel. Sorry, I forget the name now. So I got really scared later on when I contemplated, so like how they get how they get themselves out of this violence that is in the Quran. Also that against the polities, things, right? So I got really scared, like, but respecting, yes, dialogue, yes. From the Shias, I haven't had a proper dialogue. If you would care to have a proper dialogue here, we can have a proper dialogue here. So the ways the Ismailis, the way the Ismailis see Quran ayats, they give the Quran ayats, very scary. A chunk of it they leave out against polytheism, but yeah, in the Ismaili, one article I read that the Ismailis say that the polytheists did believe in Allah. So that was helpful. Thank God they accept that, right? The Ismaili Shia Muslims. Say, O Muhammad, if your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your wives, your relatives, wealth which you have obtained, commerce wherein you fear decline, and dwellings with which you are pleased, are more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger and jihad in His cause, then wait until Allah executes His command. And Allah does not guide the defiantly disobedient people. Now, so this Surah Tawbah at 24. You see, if you love someone like I did, I loved Miss Tissa. When it came on me, it came on my parents spoiling me. Not my mother, Miss Tissa would never blame my mother for this. My father actually was blamed. And, I had so much freedom. I could go to her house because she wasn't seeing me early in the morning. Things like that, following her around. After the separation also, like I had freedom. So it was, and also Miss Tissa blamed it on my love for her. It was foolish. Salahuddin says, best good morning. Bestest good morning to you, Salahuddin. Sir, I hope you are all fine. Thank you very much. I'm not that fine, but I'm surviving and going on, struggling with this. So I hope you will bear with me, and when I'm slow and can't explain properly, but I will try my utmost to explain properly. So about religion, when it came on my religion, I left. I prayed. I was praying to God, but this time I don't know what happened to me. I got a miracle. When it came on my religion, I actually wanted to leave Miss Design. I said, this time it's come on my religion. So I went home, and it was like they say in Urdu that if you cut someone with a knife, blood would not come out. I asked God to bless with good health. Ameen. Thank you so much. God bless you too. Okay. Salahuddin, you're one of the few who would pray for an apostate and their health, but many Muslims don't. In fact, Quran ayats say to be stern with the apostates, right? And also the disbelievers. So you're different case, you're a different person, different from the Quran ayats even. Thank you so much. My mother used to pray, but it never occurred, so have no hope on that. Okay, and I have to pray because I'm in it, the pain and everything. But thank you very much for the prayers. The same for you. I wish you perfect health, joy, peace, light, everything. Beautiful from God. Right? So, Salahuddin, you're one of a kind. So, like spiritual people or like humanity would pray for everyone. But here we're not even, if your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your wives, your relatives. I don't know what happened to me. I mean, I may not give myself credit, but I realized Imam Hussein sacrificed and it's come on your religion. Now get out of here. Don't come back. And so somehow God heard me and I came out of that and never went back to Mr. Saab for reconciliation due to past consideration that she used to come to my birthdays and wedding of my aunt. She came and this and that. Okay, so look at this, but you see, so this fear of this, fear of that, fear of loving someone too much, more than Allah, or as much as you love Allah. So my father told me when he came back from Singapore once, that if you loved Allah like you loved Mr. Sa, God would have come down. He was very open-minded at that time in Singapore. I don't know why. But when he used to come from Dubai, my mother and I used to notice a narrow mind. Like you feel suffocated. Sorry. Right? Yeah, this is what we used to notice in my mother and I, her husband. So we used to feel suffocated. Anyways, a Shia would not say that Allah would come down for you had you loved Allah so much. Allah and okay, Ahle Bayt were down here, but not Allah. So I was shocked at my father saying this to me. Who listen to what is said and follow what is best? These are the ones God has guided. These are the people of understanding. Yes, now this is a Quran ayat that Salahuddin has given. Who listen to what is said and follow what is best. You can follow what is best, or you feel is best from your side. Right? But what you can't put, it's not a seesaw syndrome, right? I call it the seesaw syndrome. Putting someone down, someone's religion down to bring yourself up, that's not the right way to do it. Like calling polytheists. Surah Tawbah at 27, Nijas, or 26. 20, 26? Let me just check, sorry. You see, Salahuddin, then Allah sent down his No, polytheists are Nijas. Where's that? Sorry, excuse me, I forgot it. Polytheists are Nijas. You see, polytheists are Nijas, impure. And they cannot now approach Masjid al-Haram, 28. No one is, if you feel your religion is best, follow it. Who listen to what is said? Yes. Listen to what is said here, right? In this Quran, you mean? And then why are you, who are you? Like, I'm sorry, you are great. You are a human being, you have the right. But now what are you following? According to the Shias, Shia Islam is the best. Follow your Imam. So you have a subsects, you have divisions. What is the best? You know, what is the best message you are given? La ilaha illallah. And then you need some Imam to keep guiding you and keep you on this La ilaha illallah. Hussein's example was given, Imam Hussein. Jahan Hussein wahan La ilaha illallah. But there are some Sunnis who say, those Shias, they are not Muslims. According to the Shias, although you are Muslim, but you're not following the best. Best is Imam after Prophet Muhammad. And Islam, La ilaha illallah. You won't have that grip on La ilaha illallah properly. Many things like this, problems in Islam have risen. Now you see here, I bring that verse to show that our conduct must be, your conduct must be the best, right? So, according to you, Salahuddin, yes, your conduct must be best. But okay. According to you, right? Surah Abasa, your prophet's conduct was the best here against the blind man. The prophet frowned. Oh my God, even a common man, Prophet Muhammad. Yes? Then Surah Abasa, the prophet frowned. You say, prophet frowned. He frowned and turned his back when and the Shias, they're even more crazy. They've gone crazy. They say the poor Sahaba, they bring the Sahaba in here. It's the prophet who frowned, not the Sahaba. And God here also gives him a great warning. Oh my God, there was Jesus. We were told in the Bible we read, he healed a blind man. And here is the prophet in Surah Abasa frowning at a blind man. Frowning at a blind man. Salahuddin, where are you people? It is pathetic. You don't want the Westerners to laugh at this. Right? If you take the Sunni stance, the Prophet frowned. If you take the Shia stance, they're even worse in lying. They put the Sahaba there in defending Prophet Muhammad. Because they've got it from the Imams. Or what? After Prophet Muhammad. They felt Imam Ali was with him and he knows about the Quran. He's the best expounder of the Quran. This is your conduct. This is your Prophet's conduct. What will be your conduct? What was Aisha's conduct? Believers will have the best conduct, right? al-Mu'mineen. Oh, you have, in your tafsir, in your hadiths, she broke a bowl, or she was jealous, she made up this story that Prophet Muhammad's mouth was smelling bad because he was going to Zainab bin Josh. Mu'mineen's conduct. Okay, I will reach there. God knows what. And the Prophet, the fondling Aisha, from Aisha hadith, and then Salma hadith. Shias believe in Salma a lot. She was there in Medina when Karbala happened. She was with Imam Hussein's daughter Sughra who was left behind in Medina. Yeah, her conduct was great. Where's the conduct great? Shall I show you the hadiths of Aisha? And your Prophet here frowned. But the Shias get away by saying they put Sahaba instead of the Prophet. Then we have Aisha's jealousy, Aisha's conduct. Please refer to your books for this. Aisha's misbehavior, the way in which wives of the Prophet, I found one of the Sauda giving her knife to Aisha, but other hadiths have found. And Prophet hitting Aisha on the chest. What is this going on? Chapter 18, Al-Islam. You think this is from Shia? No. They've taken from all but put in one, right? Your sources. Chapter 18, Khadija and Aisha, Sayyid Ali Asghar Razvi. With due respect. Hazrat Aisha was jealous not only of those wives of Muhammad Mustafa who were living at the same time and in, oh my goodness. Okay, Salahuddin says, okay, he may be frowned. Sorry, but the man is blind and anyway, so couldn't be affected by that. Shocking. Silence. But yeah, the man was not so this reason you've used, but we're not talking about the blind man not being affected. Of course, he didn't see it. But the Prophet, wouldn't you say that he's stupid to frown? You just said, I'm talking about the Prophet's conduct. Whether the blind man saw it, of course he couldn't see it or hear it. If the Prophet had told him something like, get away, or, like that. Don't disturb me. You see, that is not the point, Salahuddin. You just said who listen to what is best and follow what is best. What is best? These are the ones God has guided. These are the people of understanding. I bring that verse to show what our conduct must be. Right? So your Prophet's conduct has failed. He hasn't come up to that level. Please. It's not about affecting the blind man or not. The blind man didn't see it and he doesn't even know that. It's your Prophet's conduct. So if you want to follow that and tell me this verse applies to, bring the verse to show our conduct must be what our conduct must be. So what is the point? Salahuddin, why are you derailing from the conduct of Prophet Muhammad? Regardless of this poor blind man, right? It didn't affect him or anything, but why are you derailing from the conduct of Prophet Muhammad that I am showing you? I just showed you from the Quran ayat, Surah Abasa. Is that a good conduct? Regardless, of course it didn't affect, but he was not heard anyways. Like he must be wondering what's happened. I'm not heard, he can't see. But he went there to listen, to get guidance. The Prophet should have, instead of Allah coming and saying to even the Sahaba, if you take the Shia side, the Prophet should there and then told off the Sahaba that what are you doing? Not use Allah. So can you tell me about this? The conduct of Prophet Muhammad. Was this a good conduct? Tell me about it. I'm waiting. I'm not going to spend 2 hours with you here. Waiting to see what Salahuddin says about the conduct of Prophet Muhammad. He frowned specifically because the man interrupted the conversation with leaders of the pagan who for the first time was listening to the Prophet. They were listening to the Prophet for the first time, and okay, even then, is it right if Prophet Muhammad had not frowned at a blind man? So he was so desperate that he eschewed a blind man. He frowned at a blind man who can't even see him. I mean, if the pagans had looked at his conduct at that time, they would just be, this is the test. In fact, your good behavior, they say, is better than what you preach. Right? They got disgusted with the Prophet's conduct. Whatever the circumstances may be, the blind man also came, and he needs to be attended to, like we special needs people in Dubai, UAE. Let's say I have a special need, I'm restless, and I can't line up. Perhaps, in London, please come, what's your problem? Oh, I'm not feeling well, I'm restless. Okay, take her first, she's a lady, take her first. Please, like that, special needs, special preferences for them. Had he shown that, then we could have accepted him. The man couldn't be affected anyway. No. The man came for guidance. What did the man come for? The Prophet never affected a person badly. This is a bad behavior. And the man was ignored. And he must be wondering why I'm ignored. He didn't see that the Prophet was talking to pagan leaders. He was blind. He wasn't even told. So if you want the whole scenario, look at it, right? You make this very, okay, look, Surah Abasa, right? But even God has, what does he say? Does he say to the blind man? God, okay, you say that the Prophet and all this, but God has rebuked him here. God has rebuked the Prophet. So why are you evading from that what God has rebuked? Why are you giving your own opinions about this when God himself has rebuked Prophet in this ayat? Can you tell me that at least? इतने भी बेवकूफ़ नहीं हैं हम, बेवकूफ़ तो है unqualified. Huh? Am I that, you want to make a fool out of me? The prophet frowned and turned away because they came to him, the blind man, interrupting. Now, why do you avoid? No, no, you can't say he frowned because the man was blind, but because of the interruption. Yes, 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 the interruption. The interruption. But what would make you perceive? Okay, let's take your thing. But he was blind. You're supposed to give special preference to blind people, I thought. But what would make you perceive, O Muhammad, that perhaps he might be purified? Now God is correcting him, correcting his behavior, rebuking Prophet Muhammad, reminding him. So who are you to say that the Prophet was not wrong in doing this? When Allah himself is correcting him, saying you were wrong. Now why did you escape this ayat? Deceptively. Do you see this, how you escaped this ayat? God's rebuke against Prophet Muhammad. So you're giving your own opinions, defending Prophet Muhammad, but God is here rebuking him, admonishing him. Hello? Salahuddin, are you above God, your opinion, and everything you say here? Above your Allah? What are you going to say now? Are you above Allah? Why did you evade this ayat? Please tell me, Salahuddin. It's not what I'm saying or you're saying. It's what Allah is saying here against Prophet Muhammad. So you can deceive people by giving your reasons why he frowned and the blind man interrupted and it didn't affect the blind man, but God is rebuking him, Prophet Muhammad, not the blind man. So you're going against your Allah and your Quran ayats here also. You're not sticking to your Quran ayats. You're giving us a problem here. Salahuddin, you've again departed from the Quran ayats, the rest, which are rebuking Allah, in which Allah is rebuking Prophet Muhammad about this. But you're going to tell your Muslims and the ex-Muslims, you're going to deceive them, and you think how many of them you can fool. You can fool them in the beginning and get them to become Muslims, convert. And when you deceptively do this, would you say it is okay for stranger to interrupt? I'm not giving any opinion right now. Look at the Quran ayats. Would you say it is okay for stranger to interrupt the conversation you have in public? I would say it's okay, yes. Yes. I mean, it's not the best conduct, but it's okay. I wouldn't be frowning and patience, patient perseverance. I would ask him why I'm talking, why are you interrupting? And this person was a blind man. If you ask my opinion, yes, it's okay. It's not one of the best behaviors if he's not a blind man. If he's blind and he's got special needs, what if he's interrupted because he needs something? It's an emergency. Take time, be kind. Be kind to your enemies. But here, you see, regardless of what I think or say, your Allah is saying here that it's not okay for Prophet Muhammad to frown at a blind man, even though he interrupted. Now, what do you have to say about that? Waiting. Salahuddin, you are deceiving people. Look at this. Remember this ayat. I have to show you this shocking thing, Salahuddin's way. When the Quran, Allah is rebuking Prophet Muhammad, you're asking for my opinion. Before that, you've tried to defend Prophet Muhammad. Okay, maybe he frowned. Okay, he may be frowned, but the man is blind anyway, so couldn't be affected by that. Salahuddin, he frowned specifically because the man interrupted the conversation with leaders of the pagan, who for the first time was listening to the Prophet, who were for the first time listening to the Prophet. Salahuddin, the man couldn't be affected. Anyway, the Prophet never affected a person badly. Departing from the coming Quran ayats against Prophet Muhammad by Allah. Deception. If you do this against Quran ayats, against God's rebuke, what are you doing? This is very, very clear. Salahuddin, what are you doing here? How ungrateful is man. This Prophet. Now please don't bleed me to death, suck my blood up for this. See the Quran ayats. Allah is rebuking. Who are you to defend him? It is absolutely okay to feel unrest at someone interrupting your conversation, but the Prophet is held to be a high standard, so God correct him. So God, it is absolutely okay to feel unrest at someone interrupting your conversation. I think humanity first. I think one should heal the blind man. Okay, my opinion. No. If a blind man comes to me, right, I would be really low, even as a common person, to do this, feel unrest. Because I'm interested in converting leaders. And don't give two hoots about a blind man coming to me. Like giving preference to leaders. It is not okay. For you, you are even worse than Allah. The Quran ayats. You are giving your own opinion about this and pushing me to give my opinion. But the Prophet or a common person? So God had to correct him, right? Okay, now God corrected. So you still feel that what? Because a common man, it is absolutely okay to feel unrest, but not okay for the Prophet, right? So you want everybody to interrupt everybody No, I'm saying in certain circumstances like emergency, or in this case, look at it. No, I'm not saying. You interrupt me, I don't, look, I'm trying to, like, I do get angry at times, but in the beginning, when you don't listen, you don't see the Quran ayats. What, now you're blaming me? Generally saying that I'm saying it's okay for everybody to interrupt everybody. This is a blind man in this case. Leaders, he's talking to pagan leaders. Means if I'm talking to a sheikh and a blind man comes, look at the condition here. I said in emergency cases and in normal cases also. If a child comes, sheikh is talking to me and I'm talking to the sheikh, and I'm interrupted by a child. Wouldn't the sheikh understand? It's just a child. He came and is trying to distract my attention. Now, when another thing is, when Prophet Muhammad was in prayer, prostration, his grandson interrupted and climbed on his back and neck. The Shia say, taking it from the Sunni Islamic sources, I don't know where the source is, one of his grandsons, Hassan or Hussein, he had to, so he didn't get up from prostration, he had to, continue, what do you call it? What's the word? He had to keep, doing his prostration. Now, this is his obligatory prayer, Prophet's obligatory prayer. It is a mistake because he's a prophet of God. Right. Now, you said that we follow the best. And the reason why you gave me this ayat previously, the one before, is because of the good conduct. It teaches us. Initially, our prophet didn't know how to behave. And God is correcting his behavior, his mistake, his misconduct. Is that right? For you, it may be right because, you blame, so you want everybody to interrupt everybody. Is that okay for you? That is okay for you, meaning God knows where you come from. Okay, I've had enough. So God corrected his mistake. Your prophet didn't know how to behave initially. So if God is correcting the prophet who doesn't know initially how to behave himself, in this circumstance, Salahuddin, in this circumstance, we're talking about good conduct that the prophet lacked. That the prophet lacked. And God is correcting him. We have books, previous books, we're told to refer to them. Find out. And this Quran also, before we deface obliterate your faces, we have the conduct, we have the example of Jesus Christ. We have the example how Moses behaved, how Abraham behaved. And this prophet has to be taught how to behave himself. He can't see the example of Jesus. Someone could have come to Jesus when he was talking to the rabbis of that time, Jews. Sire, my child, he's possessed. Can you help? Right? You have the example, Surah Anbiya, of the prophets. And God has to correct his mistake here because he doesn't know how to behave himself. He doesn't know the behavior of Abraham, Nuh, Jesus Christ, just before him. Jesus Christ, people used to come to him sometimes and swarm and say, please, can you help us then? Can you heal my son? He's possessed with the devil. Say, why are you interrupting me? I'm talking to the rabbis. This is more important for me. The man is dying or suffering. And this is the mercy prophet. You know, he was a mercy from the very beginning. Oh my God. Tell me which Arab, excuse me, Jesus called the non-Jewish woman who approached him a dog. Why did he call her a dog? Why did he call her a dog? Huh? Who approached him? Okay, he called her a dog. Did he? And when some lady touched him, I remember all his strength went away. She was a fortune teller, soothsayer. She used to, like the devil used to give her prophecy. You know, she used to be psychic, clairvoyant, and all this. Right? Jesus, now here the circumstances, you see, you blame me, you blame Jesus on this, but I know the reason behind this is different. He didn't call the woman who approached her because she interrupted him a dog. There's another reason why Jesus called this woman who approached her a dog. Because she was a non-Jewish. Okay, let's see. Jesus, but not for interruption or approaching him. Please, this is about the truth. Don't be obstacle to the truth. See this, then you will not be able to do justice. You keep defending Prophet Muhammad. See the good part of Jesus. I'm not a Christian, but I'm saying when a blind man came to him, what did he do? He found, oh, okay, Jesus, please, can you heal me? He healed the blind man. Now, you tell me, see the good part of the Quran ayats. What are you? Sorry, I don't think you are someone I can have discussion with. So kindly leave me alone. I mean, if you go to this extent to change the truth and show it the lies without logic, then I cannot help you, right? I mean, this is so shocking. Like, you could go to, the other Muslims can go to such extent. A Canaanite woman, a dog. The exact word Jesus used here in Greek was kunarian, meaning small dog or pet dog. Bible Gateway, sorry, I don't mean any copyrights infringement here. But let's see, oops. Oh God. Leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him, crying out, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon-possessed and suffering terribly." Jesus did not answer a word. So his disciple came to him and urged him and sent her away, for she keeps crying out after us. He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel." The woman came and knelt before him. "Lord, help me," she said. He replied, "It is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs." "Yes, it is, Lord," she said. "Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus said to her, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And her daughter was healed at the moment. Excuse me. Salahuddin. Okay, this other one. Jesus honors a Syrophoenician woman's faith. Jesus left that place and went to the vicinity of Tyre. He entered a house and did not want anyone to know it, yet he could not keep his presence secret. In fact, as soon as she heard about him, a woman whose little daughter was possessed by an impure spirit came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek born in Syrian. "Where does Lord," she replied, "even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Then he told her, "For such a reply you may go. The demon has left your daughter." Where does he call a woman a dog? Huh? Got questions? Yes. Sorry, no copyright infringement. Matthew 15:21-28. Jesus encounters a Canaanite Syrophoenician woman who begs him to cure her daughter. Jesus initially refuses her request by saying it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. Matthew 15:26, taken out of context, and especially in English, it's easy to mistake this for an insult. In the flow of the story, however, it's clear Jesus is creating a metaphor meant to explain the priorities of his ministry. He is also teaching an important lesson to his disciples. But he didn't call the woman a dog. He just used a parable. And then he cured her from a distance. Her daughter was cured, was possessed. Jews in Jesus' day sometimes referred to Gentiles as dogs. Right? In Greek, this word is kuon, meaning wild cur. Non-Jews were considered so unspiritual that even being in their presence could make a person ceremonially unclean. Much of Jesus' ministry, however, involved turning expectations and prejudices on their heads. Look, all this. So please, what are you seeing? I'm so afraid this man is going to deceive people. How else are you going to deceive people? Huh? Anything more you need to say? So let's come back to your prophet's behavior. He didn't heal the blind man. He could have. If Jews were called dogs. Oh, sorry. Yeah? Because she was a non-Jewish. Okay, if non-Jewish people were called dogs, at least Jesus, after having rebuked her, but it's not God who rebuked Jesus. Tell me the time when God rebuked Jesus. We are talking about Surah Abasa, where God rebukes the messenger, prophet. And Jesus, for your information, which you are not giving here, which you didn't give, cured, exorcised through a distance, from a distance. The non-Jewish woman's daughter was possessed. Her wish was granted for what she had come to Jesus for. Any other clever way? You want to defend your religion with lies and deceiving ways, cunning? Any other way? Look at him. I mean, this is really coming. Where? Look, best, good morning to you, madam. I hope you are all fine. Look at this. Best, did you hear me when I put this on here? Look at this. Best, good morning. You might go for his conduct in the beginning if I hadn't exposed this. I pray, I ask God to bless with good health. You know, the Bible has this, that in sheep's clothing, no, wolves in sheep's clothing, it is teaching, never rebuking. God says, to whom God says, accursed, ungrateful is man in Surah Abasa. What a deceptive. Okay, so now you see you Shia Sunni. Shias will, I will give it to the Shias, don't worry. Huh? No, here. Where's it? Excuse me. But what would make you perceive that perhaps he might be purified? Or be reminded, and the remembrance would benefit him. God is saying, leave those pagan Arab, what you said here. He's rebuking. As for he who thinks himself without need, to him you give attention. As to one who regards himself self-sufficient, these are all the reasons I gave you that God is giving Prophet Muhammad against him. and its behavior. Now who are you going to deceive? And the Shias are even, like the Shias with Sahaba, poor Sahabas are caught in this. Because you see, Shias, it can't be a Sahaba who he went to get knowledge from, to be purified. Why have take your words for it? Otherwise, I'm deceptive. Sorry, you are the deceptive. Take my word for it? What do you mean? Please look at the Quran ayats. You are deceiving people. I have to say it, sorry. It's been many hours of mine wasted with you. So don't come here, do me a favor. Right? Do me a favor, don't come here. Why I have to take... Now you're going to say you didn't mean it. Next time you're going to come here. Please stick to your words. What do you mean by this? Why I have taken your words for it? Otherwise, I am deceptive. Sorry, you are the deceptive. I'm the deceptive. Giving you reasons. God is giving reasons in this Quran ayat. The reason why I said you are deceptive, because your ways are. What can I do? You just defended your prophet, which Allah even is not defending him here, the way you defended him earlier on here. Allah is not defending Prophet Muhammad here. Then you're saying he's being corrected. There's no problem in making mistake because he is a prophet and this, and you want everybody to interrupt you, everybody to interrupt others. God knows what you've said here. Here we are. Excuse me? Please stick to the Quran ayat. What Allah is saying against Prophet Muhammad here. Brother, sir, can you not stick to the Quran ayats? I saw you departing from the Quran ayats even initially defending the Prophet. Isn't that deception? You're not following God even. That is deceiving. That is the height of deception. What can I do? The things you said here, wait a minute. Even God is not defending the Prophet like you have defended the Prophet earlier with your reasoning here. What can I do? But to say, sorry, you are deceptive, very deceptive. You are departing from the Quran ayats. God rebuking Prophet Muhammad. Sorry if I don't share your opinion. No, this is not my opinion. You are not sticking to God's commands, God's ayats here against Prophet Muhammad. Not my opinion. Every time you say it's your perspective, it's your opinion, you blame me. First you came, you said you don't know Arabic, you don't know the Quran Arabic, you are not qualified. Sir, Salahuddin, this is not my opinion. I am sorry. I ask, what else do you have to say against me here? It's God's ayat saying against Prophet Muhammad, for God's sakes. For goodness sakes, honesty's sake. Before this, you didn't tell me you're giving even against God. What God is saying here, you're defending Prophet Muhammad earlier on. I think we should leave it at this, to each his opinion. You're you're putting words in my mouth now. No, no, no. I have to bring out this hypocrite of a lifetime, and you're saying leave it. And this is not my opinion. I was giving you what God is correcting this prophet. And you were departing. I'm giving you Quran ayats, reasons why God is correcting. And you were defending Prophet Muhammad. To him dost thou attend. But what did you say here? Look, God is saying that as to the one who regards himself as self-sufficient, to him you give attention. You said here, he frowned specifically because the man interrupted the conversation with leaders of the pagan who for the first time was listening to the prophet. The man couldn't be affected anyway. The prophet never affected a person badly. No, you can't say he frowned because the man was blind, but because of the interruption of his. Would you say it is okay for a stranger to interrupt the conversation you have in public? Would you say? Asking for my opinion? Then you want to blame me for my opinion. I said, look in the Quran ayahs. Salahuddin says it is absolutely okay to feel unrest at someone interrupting your conversation, but the Prophet is held to a high standard, so God correct him. Salahuddin says, so you want everybody to interrupt everybody? Is that okay for you? It is a mistake because he is a prophet of God. So you feel that the blind man should not have interrupted Prophet Muhammad because he was talking to the pagan, and it's bad manners to interrupt. Because he was preaching the leaders of the pagan, you feel he should not have interrupted. From your previous comments here, I can see. So I told you, you're going against God's ayats here. Then you say he made a mistake, so God correct him. But before that, you meant that no one should interrupt Prophet Muhammad or anyone. Because you said, what is your opinion? Do you feel it's okay? So I said, look at the Quran. Later on, what does God do? Rebuke Prophet Muhammad. I don't think I'm going to leave this until I show you where you've gone wrong against God. You're giving your opinions, telling me I'm giving my opinion. You're asking for my opinion, trying to trap me here. If I'd given my opinion, and I did, but then I said, let's look at what God does. He says, no, you give. What is Allah saying here to the Prophet against him? Now he who waxes indifferent, as for he who thinks himself without need. God is saying those pagan Arab leaders you preaching to, they think they are self-sufficient. Whereas this blind man came. To him you give attention. To those pagan, what you've said here. To those pagan, you're not going to cop out of this. Let's leave this. No. You see how you've gone against God. You've gone against God. And it's ayats and blaming me and then coming here again and again and saying you don't mean it. What kind of an Arab deceiver Muslim are you? Look at what you said here. You said, here, he frowned. Okay, he may be frowned, but the man is blind anyway, so couldn't be affected by that. You're giving your opinion, blaming others for sharing their opinion. Departing from Quran ayats, what God is saying later on. In this surah, what a clever, cunning man you are. This is not right. You're departing from what God said. You said, he frowned specifically because the man interrupted the conversation with leaders of the pagan who, for the first time, was listening to the Prophet, meaning he shouldn't have. Is Salahuddin with the Quran ayats? Surah Abasa. With Allah. No, he's not here with Allah. He's giving his own opinion. He departed. Then when I show you the later Quran ayats about this third one, ayat, where Prophet is rebuked by Allah, saying you give ear to these pagan idol worshippers, leaders, who think they are self-sufficient. You said it is okay what the Prophet did, but Allah is saying no. It's not okay. What matters what you say or what I say, but you saying this and departing and then saying you're a Muslim is shocking. What else can I say about this? Salahuddin, you are departing from Allah, giving your own reasons. Quran ayats. Trying to blame me. Who does this? As a Muslim, desperate to defend Prophet Muhammad, even when Allah didn't in the ayats. Right? But you are so desperate to defend Prophet Muhammad that you departed from Allah. What Allah is saying in the Quran ayats regarding this, against Prophet Muhammad. So who is being deceptive? I or you? Now, if you see, after all this, and every time I spend 2 hours, I already have a condition here. I don't know how to deal with clever, deceptive people properly. They bring the worst out of me. I said cooperate, be honest. Haven't I said this many times here? Please, we are learners. Then he says in the end, sorry if I don't share your opinion. Oh my God. I'm telling you, God has rebuked Prophet Muhammad. Whatever reason you gave here, it's against what God tells him, rebuking him. Then you're saying here, I think we should leave it at this, to each his opinion. Again, you're stubborn. He's saying, you're not accepting your fault here in defending Prophet Muhammad. In this way, you gave your opinion. It's very clear from the Quran ayats what God, you can't give your opinion against the Quran ayats that God is, the reason why God rebukes Prophet Muhammad is telling him exactly what you said was, that he was doing was wrong. It is absolutely okay to feel unrest at someone interrupting your conversation, but the Prophet is hold to a high standard to God correct him. Now the Arabic language import used here, how God is correcting Prophet Muhammad also, which Salahuddin didn't even care to look at, the way God is rebuking Prophet Muhammad and correcting him, all against his Salahuddin's opinions here, defending Prophet Muhammad. Do you see this? Do you see this? This is Ramadan, month of Ramadan. And then he will come here, I don't know what he's going to say. Please, hello, humanity, reason, hello. Who shall I call out? A lot is at stake, like I keep saying. Oh my God, he himself I bring that verse to show what our conduct must be. Salahuddin says yes on Surah Abasa. Okay, leave this. Okay, he may be frowned, but the man is blind anyway, so couldn't be affected by that. Without giving God's rebuke, reason why God rebuked him, he's saying it's okay. God is saying it's not okay. Allah is saying it's not okay in Surah Abasa. Salahuddin is saying it's okay. Did I share this on Twitter? Wait a minute. Salahuddin is saying it's okay. I'm going to tweet this again. No, I think I have shared this on Twitter. Muslims, if you keep deceiving us against Allah and your Quran ayats, how can we trust you in any way? And how you evade and get away now? Sorry. What a sorry it is. Sorry if I don't share your opinion. I gave you the wordings of Allah rebuking Prophet Muhammad. And you're telling me, sorry. Who would do this? Sorry, I'm giving you ayats from the Quran against Prophet Muhammad by Allah in Surah Abasa, and you're saying, sorry if I don't share your opinion. Who would do this? Who would say something like this? How can we then have a civilized, honest learning seeing, discovering. Sorry, I raped you. I didn't mean to rape you. Oh my God. Sorry, I keep coming here harassing you. I don't mean to harass you. I'm such a good person. I wish you well. Salam. Best good morning to you, madam. I hope you are all fine. I ask God to bless you with good health. Ameen. Who listen to what is said and follow what is best? These are the ones God has guided. These are the people of understanding. Quran ayat given to me by Salahuddin. O people of understanding, I bring that verse to show what our conduct must be. Then I said, Surah Abasa, Prophet frowned. Even the Shias are wrong in putting Sahaba there, because this blind man has gone to get guidance, not from the pagan leaders. Whoever the Sahabas at that time were listening to Prophet Muhammad, this poor blind man goes, God rebukes him. So I said about the conduct of Prophet Muhammad. Okay, he may be frowned, Salahuddin says, but the man is blind anyway, so couldn't be affected by that. What? That's not what Allah says in the ayats. Who is giving their opinion against Allah? Allah's rebuke, the way he rebuked Prophet Muhammad, Salahuddin. Do you see this? And both Shias and Sunnis, you see, with the Shias, I've seen Sunnis do this. And now the Shias here with me, they do the same thing to me. Giving their own opinions, departing from Quran and Allah's rebuking, Allah's way of rebuking Prophet Muhammad. Salahuddin himself he's departed from. I'm not giving, okay, I gave a part of my opinion, but it came to what Allah rebuked Prophet Muhammad for. My opinion came true. Do you see this? So what would you call this, Salahuddin, sir? If not deception, if not departing from Quran ayats. Don't blame me. I think we should. Sorry if I don't share your opinion. So, you know how he's said that? Like he's given his opinion here against God's rebucation, the way God rebuked Prophet Muhammad. And then he's blaming me, in a way telling you that, and me, look how he's deceiving me. That I can share my opinion even though it's against God. And you can share your opinion. Sorry, and sorry with it. You know, my teacher used to get so angry. You don't mean sorry. There's my feudal lord, you could be one of them. You know, there's in My Feudal, why did Tahmina Durrani write this book, My Feudal Lord? Every time her husband would beat her up, black and blue, sorry, I love you, I love you. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I wish the best. I love you, my wife. Don't leave me. Why did Tahmina Durrani write this book? Right? Look, please, there are people who say sorry and they don't mean it. Tahmina Durrani. Please be careful. They're attacking you, you know, your mind through this way. My feudal lord. What do you call this, you know? Her husband used to apologize to her, battering her, black and blue. After that, that's why there are some women who can't leave their husband. Sorry, sorry, I don't mean it. I love you. I wish the best for you. Then please go. Get help. Go to a psychologist. Go to a family member. Say, I'm beating my wife. It's out of control. It's madness. Go to a social worker. Pray Quran, ayats. Go to alim. Say, please pray for me. Like I sought help from my Shia. Please help me. Miss Desai and I are not getting along. She wants me to be like this. We have differences. I have to keep apologizing to her. She says, you don't mean it. Because I keep going back to what I am, like that. He gave me kaharo, ya kaharo, ya kaharo, after to recite, after Zohar and Asar prayers. 70 times. Please be careful of such people like Salahuddin. Sorry. Okay. Now, this is battery. This is mental. Oh, I can't. Okay, it was. Okay, he may be frowned. But the man is blind anyway, so couldn't be affected by that. That's not what Allah says in the Quran ayat. I took you to Surah Abasa, but he just doesn't accept it. He's giving his opinion. I said, we can give our opinion, but then we could say that it is our opinion. But it's the Quran ayat. Allah is rebuking for this reason, the reasons Salahuddin gave to defend Prophet Muhammad. I have no strength now. Very little. My stomach is like butterflying. When I use up too much of in debate, do not argue lest you lose your strength. Quran ayat. But do I have to go for that Quran ayat? Now you see, if we cooperate with one another in Allah's way, the reason why Allah rebuked Prophet Muhammad not only to correct his behavior, but against what Salahuddin is saying, defending Prophet Muhammad. Because Allah didn't defend him like this. It's okay, yes, you frowned. We know it's not nice to interrupt the conversation with leaders of the pagan who for the first time were listening to the Prophet. God himself does not give this defense against Prophet Muhammad frowning at a blind man in Surah Abasa. I wonder why Salahuddin has given this defense. Doctors of law, judges, justice, chief justice. I appeal to your. I spent hours and hours with this brother, sir, and what he's come down to. I'm kind with him. I feel sorry for him. But at the same time, I want to expose. He comes back, best salam, best good morning. Then you will say, I'm the one. If I get angry, what do you call this? Because she was a non-Jewish. Why I have to take your words for it, otherwise I'm deceptive. Why I have to take your words for it? No, take Allah's words for it. Look at the way he's changing, putting words in my mouth. Otherwise, I am deceptive because I called him deceptive. Sorry, again, sorry, you are the deceptive. Here we are. Sorry if I don't share your opinion. I'm not asking you, I didn't even ask him to share my opinion. I've been saying, look at God rebuking, the way God rebuking. What you say is God's rebuke to Prophet Muhammad is against the way you defended Prophet Muhammad in this surah, Surah Abasa. It's like those battered husbands who come back saying, sorry, I didn't mean it this way the last time he came. I didn't mean to taunt you. Okay, I need a break, sorry. Do you see this? Thank you so much. Oh my God.